Hi guys, how are you? Here we are. We are back in our live. It's a Tuesday, and as you know, every Tuesday I'm taking again this good habit of being live with you in order to sketch together, to give a more than lesson, just to share with you what I know how to do and what this channel is about, which is about teaching car sketching. Make sure that all car design lovers, all those that have a strong passion for car design, would like to become car designers, or just treat car design sketching as a hobby, improve, they can have a very good channel in which find a lots of tutorial videos. And not only that, I'm Luciano Bove, I'm sure you know me. And just in case you don't, this is a channel that is fully dedicated to this, so to car design sketching, and it's mainly to the dedicated to the basics of car drawing. Okay, it's not we are not gonna do things ultra complicated, even if there are a few videos where I made some interesting renderings and illustrations to show you. Okay, hey Mr. Solanki, ciao, welcome back. If you are new, you can subscribe, you can put a like, okay, to this video, that would be great. And if you want, you can also donate a coffee to me by using the thank you button, okay? Or even a beer if you want. All right, so what are we gonna do today? Well, today we are going to work on one perspective that is not very much used by car sketchers, but that was very much used by Sid Mead. Anybody knows who is Sid Mead? Okay, if you don't, go and check on Google Sid Mead. You will discover the guy, the designer, the illustrator, the mentor that used the one point perspective really well. Send you some of my work. Solanki, yes, of course you can send to me some of your work. If you want, I can check your level. I can give you a very quick answer. The quick answer means few lines, okay? But if you want to know if you would like to have an online teaching course with me, then we can do that also. There is a little fee to pay, of course, but we can do that too. And if you have a portfolio or an entry portfolio that you would like to check with me in order to learn how to improve it for your school design admission, I can also do that. All right? Just in case, I can send to you my email. I'll write my email now, okay? And you can use this email to write to me and send me a few of your drawings, okay? There you go. Okay, so the one point perspective. First of all, what is one point perspective? It's very much used in certain type of movie scenarios, okay? When we do storyboards. For example, this is a vertical storyboard. All right. And then, hi Dominic, how long will this live last? Quick question. I will be here about an hour, but you know, tomorrow this live will be registered and will be online, so you can watch eventually the replay. You can watch it tomorrow. All right, or maybe later. Just check, just save this link, you know, this video link, and try later if you cannot stay with us. All right, so I put my horizon line. This is the horizon. And then I will draw the point that will become my reference. So this is very important now, because now we are defining whether this composition will be dynamic or static. First of all, if this is the frame of my scenario, if I put the point right in the center, it will be very static. But if I put it on the right or on the left, then it will be much more dynamic, and that's what we want. So in general, we can put it here, right? So this is the vanishing point. And this is the one point perspective. What I call also the Sid Mead favorite perspective. So go and check who is Sid Mead. It's very important. So now that we have this, we can, starting from this point, we can draw all our reference lines, perspective references line. All right? All those lines. We can do that. You see? Okay, those are our perspective reference lines. It's very interesting because now inside here we can draw. Yeah, I'm sure you're saying, yeah, but what the hell do we draw? We can do an interior of a car. We can draw a car, but we can draw also buildings. We can draw a scenario. In fact, this is very good for movie storyboards, especially the Star Wars movie storyboards, where Sid Mead made a lot of sketching for all the scenarios, the scenes, because it's very dramatic and can give you the opportunity to do also lots of detailing. So let's imagine this is I take this line here and this one here. So we can already imagine this is a road, a street. You see? And then once we use this, then we can imagine that here we have a car. And now for the car we have to use, you know, this vanishing point. So here I can put my first wheel, and down here I will put the other one, which is so small we cannot see it. So I can sketch a car here, you see, and I can put the shadow here. I'm making this very basic shapes, okay? Basic shape just to explain to you the theory, you know. Solanki, sir, I have you always worked as an independent designer, or we in copy? Oh, no, I mean, if I am, I work in a company. Yeah, since 26 years now. And before I worked, look, you can find my name on LinkedIn or on Google, and there you will find also, you can also check my website, which is this one, www.lucianobove.com, and here you can find my story. So I work at Fiat, work at Renault, I taught in several design schools also, and since 10 years I have this channel on YouTube where I keep on teaching. Voilà. Sometimes I go to design schools. So you see, here we have this coupe, and as you can see, it is correct in terms of proportion. You see? Then let's imagine here we have a, I don't know, in this traffic we have a big truck. Well, the truck will be here. And now let's suppose that here we have a little part of another car. I can draw the light, the fender. You see, I'm always following the same perspective. Then the side, the glass, and the top. You see that the car would be like here, but I cut it. And then we can imagine that here we have buildings. You see, I can put a big, higher building that up here. Then here we have other buildings. And then here we can put some mountains, you see? With a nice sun coming down and the sky. So can you see with this perspective how many nice things we can do? Now let's suppose that here I want to put some more details. Ciao Gupta, how are you? Welcome back. Hey guys, don't forget to put your like on this video. This really helps me a lot. So, let's suppose that I want to make a balcony, this building, okay? That this is my balcony. Look. Then here it will be like that. And on this wall here we will have the exit to the balcony, and another one here. Big apartment. Oops, okay, I have a new one. I am fine, Gupta, thank you very much. I still have few more days of vacation, then I have to go back to work. But I'm trying my best to make sure that every Tuesday I'm back here, you know, sketching with you guys. So you see, now I can do this. You see, and I make another floor on top, which is this one. So this is the protection thing, you know, that we have on the balcony, so that we don't fall down. And then here you see, here we have another one. Always following the perspective. And then the last one here, we can make it longer because here is where the shops are. So it's deeper inside. And you can imagine that all this is magazine, you know, with a big entrance here in the back. So you see how many things we can do with this perspective. Yes, Gupta, I will try to do my best. I'm not on vacation. I was somewhere. Now I'm home, Dominic. Yeah, I will try my best to keep on being with you guys on Tuesday. Tuesday at 6 p.m. French time. All right. So now, if I want to do something really cool, you know, I can take a very light marker. You see? Put a little bit of color. A little bit of warm color here. And also on the car. Also a little bit there. And then use a cool color. I will check. Yes, I found it. And then use a cool color for what is in shadow. Like this one, you see? And here too. So now that we put a little bit of this cool color on the ground, we have to put a little bit of the warm that comes from the sky up here. So I will go and take again my yellow, and I just hit a little bit to make sure that I get some of that yellow here. But as you can see, I'm always following the perspective, the way I use my marker, you see? So, I would say that our demo, it's done. Now, the last thing I will do, I will use this pen that is very much used by graphic designers and architects, you know. It's a typical felty pen, paper made, really simple. You find this everywhere. To work a little bit on the outline, to make thicker outline. You see? Clean up a little bit the lines. Okay, so now you have an idea. Okay, very quick, very quick demo about this one point perspective. Now that we did this, how do we apply this perspective to car sketching. So that's very important. This is a composition, you can do lots of those little things, they are very nice. You can do a painting, you can decide how to make your composition, then make this a lot bigger and use your color paints, your wash or oil paint, and make something really cool. So that's just to show you the importance and how interesting can be, to have this one point perspective. Remember, the one point is there in this spot. Okay. So now that I did that, take my pencil, and let's suppose that this is my horizon line, okay? Hi, Tomasek. How are you? Welcome back. And if you did not put your like yet, please put your like. And I put always here my one point perspective. So let's take this line here, this one. So what happens if, for example, I use this line here, because here I would like to, to draw my car. So let's see. So this could be my center line. So let's put the wheels, because once we put the wheels, Ciao Gupta, what's wrong? I have trouble using pencil as small as the one you are using. Yeah, I know, but you know what you can do? In reality, look what I have. Whoops. You can. I know that you guys can buy this. Like this one. You see? The problem with this one is too small for this. So I bought another one, I show you. Like this one. It's pretty nice. It's not perfect, but already the size is better. And then I have another one, which is this one, that has the screw. Okay, so you put this inside, but it's for those fabric cuts, it's just too right, You see? And then voila, this one works pretty good. So let's make you see, now I have my wheels there. I can put my shadow always following perspective. I can just make the side section a little bit better. You see? And I have a car, because now that I have this, I can imagine how I can draw my car. I can make a light like that, you know, very basic, huh? Very basic. You see, now I can draw better even the sections, because now I can understand better what I have. I can do my side reflection. I can quickly put a little bit of shading there just to have an idea. And then here I can change the section. I can go inside. You see? Put this in shadow. You see, making corrections. And this is another way of saying I sketch a car, but I use a particular type of perspective, different. To see the car, my sketching a different way, from a different perspective. And sometimes this gives you other ideas. It's another way, you know. So I don't know if you like it. I can put my door cut. All right. So So if you want to offer me a coffee, guys, you can always hit the thank you button and you can offer me a nice coffee. Or at least, if you are new, you can subscribe, and for sure you will put a like, a fantastic like to this. So far, what did we do? We explained what it is, the one-point perspective, okay, with this little sample. Then we showed the one-point perspective that has been applied, you know, to an interior, for example, to have that type of view, you know, when we sketch an interior. You know, I open my door and what do I see? And then also to sketch in one-point perspective an exterior of a car. Maybe I put the car too much over here. I should have pushed a little bit more in the front, so we could have seen also the rest of the car. But here already we have lots of information, you know. For example, here I can put my license plate, you see. Put this in shadow. All right. Now, when I talk about seed meat, you know, working on the one-point perspective. Now, let's imagine that I have, this is my frame, okay? Always, my point is always there. Now, let's imagine that here we have this section. Look, after I show you what it is. So now that I did that, can you see what I'm doing? Now look what I do. You see what you can do a science fiction type of illustrations. You see? Now this is a spaceship that is arriving here to land. So here we have to make the landing area. So this will be in shadow. And then in this area here, we have all the sort of futuristic garage in which that will open to let people in and out, a little bit like Star Wars. Then we put another one here. A little bit of shadow. You see? So this perspective, it can give you a lot of things. You can imagine so many things. So now let's imagine that up here, it's all transparent glass. It's a sort of tower, control tower. And they are all here watching, the things that arise. And then down here, we have sort of, I don't know, dark glass windows, just like if there were some rooms down here. I'm thinking, I'm just trying to imagine. If on top we have the control tower with all computers and stuff, then here probably we have the where people go sleep during their turns, you know, and then up here here also is transparent there. Looks pretty cool. So what do you think so far? All this transparent. All this transparent. And to make it look more transparent, we're gonna make the top darker. And also over here, the top will be darker. Okay, so now on the top, thank you Iris, thank you very much. Now on the top here, we must have lots of lights, you know. So I don't know what type of lights, maybe LEDs, I don't know in the future what they will have. But we can draw a few lines so that here we have, you know, some sort of light tiles. And then here we can, you know, you can have a sort of element that will fix all them together, like fixing points. Okay, and this one will be like that. We'll make a shading that goes dark on the left and very light on the front of the opening. Now on this side, to me, we must put also another, you know, open area, because here there is another team of those people that help for the landing. So this is also transparent. You see? And here, basically, starting this point here, we have the area where people will stand, you know, from here going over there and from here going over there. They will stand in front of this spaceship that will arrive and will land here. So first of all, this one, let's make it straight. Okay, so let's make this sort of, you know, waiting area. So I always use my point perspective. Said it's there, so it's like that. So what do I do? How I do? Well, let's imagine this is all made of rubber. You know, this is a sort of a rubber surface. Then if it's a rubber, I can have like big tiles of rubber, you know. So I will just put few lines to give that feeling that something different is there. You see? Oops. And I will do the same thing on the other side. Okay, and then because this is an area in which we can have problems, you know, it's dangerous, you know, it's not very. We must have first of all some signs on the floor, and so first I put this one that is an arrow that is saying that that's the direction where people have to go. Here I'll put another one. Okay. Here I will put some holes because there is some sort of air coming out from those holes. Okay. And the same holes, I'll put them here, look. Then another one here. The other one here. You see, I changed sides because of perspective. But I'm always following those two lines. They come from there always, you see? And then on the wall, maybe I have a big, a huge display. You see? And what do I do with this display? Well, I don't know, publicity, commercial, TV, news, whatever. So I just put a display reflection on the glass. Then I put a little bit of shading. You see, big display in between those two areas. And now the last thing I would like to do, just to check how it looks, everything, is that I would like to make the sky. And because we are at night, of course, it's more dramatic, this will be very dark. So first I put a medium tone, so that we have a base, and then we can decide how we apply contrast, you know, to make sure that we get a very nice contrast and depth. But before I complete, there is another thing I have to do. You see, this one, well, I would like to put another one here that is smaller, that is far. And another one here that's much smaller, so it's very far. You see, so there are several that are getting here. And on this one we can put a little bit of extra details. Okay, now let's try to make this sky. Now that I have all the elements, okay, so to make now this look really like a sky, first of all, there will be probably some, okay, so this part I make it darker. That's something I know, because I really need a big contrast in this area. So I take advantage, and this time look how I do it, because I try, of course, not to, not to go over my flying objects. And while I am doing this, I like this effect of darker light just behind this part of my big ship, because here it's very dark. So I need light there to create that contrast. And on this side is the opposite, because it's very light in this area. So I need dark sky to make, to make that contrast. And in this area, I leave it a little bit lighter here. Now we have a better feeling about the glass area. And I'm going to make this darker. You see? So it really looks like, the sky, it's going through the glass. You see the little detail there? I show you close. Oops. All right, we didn't finish yet, huh? Because there are so many details. Okay, so here we have all the, all the computer things, all the people, the humanoids that are here working. And there they are. So I just put little things so that we have an idea that some people are there. You see? It's not, I mean, it's not a real people sketch, but that little thing, you can imagine people looking at the screen while the big ship is arriving. So I'm making this little change here. I think it's better. And here I had to go a little bit darker. You see the little detail there? It's better. Okay, so now that we have this, all this, okay, so what do you think? Let me know. I go closer. So you can see better. Maybe you know what we can do here? We can put a big shadow here. It's like this one, it's almost inside. Like that. We can also make out some antenna. Imagine that when you get there, some stuff will open to stop and to help the landing. You know, maybe not a lot of contrast in the interior. Yeah, you mean in this area? Yeah, because you have to work always with transparency. You know, if I had color, I would use the color to make understand better that this is sky and here we have a glass and that's the sky through the glass. Because it's black and white, that's how I'm doing it. And voila, that's what I think. So let's see, Iris, I like it. I did not know you can get that creative with 1 point perspective. Yeah, in reality, you know, the 1 point perspective can give you a lot of things. You know, for example, look here. Let's put a hole here. You know, like a grill with a metallic grill. Now, for example, this is the point, okay? So if I make that line here, watch this line, okay? And I do that. Look what I do. You see? I have more or less the proportion, you know, of the people. And that's the line in perspective, you know, that I have to, if I put another one here, it will be here, like that. You see? So you can use that perspective in making things that sometimes look difficult to do, you know. But if you follow the lines, you get the perspective, you get the proportion, then it's easier. Okay, so now that I did that, let's take again this fantastic pen. And let's make of this sketch a nice storyboard. You see? And then I can always add little details, you see, like here, for example. Look how nice. You see, that at the end, it's a nice little cool sketch, you know. We can do some details here. Some details here. And details down here. Here. Look how cool. Wow, it looks like we are inside, really. Okay, so my dear friends, I think that we did a lot today. What do you think? You know, at the end, what did we do? Exactly how we started. You know, we started with this. And we ended up with something similar. All right. So thank you very much for being here. Please, if you want to offer me a coffee, you hit the thanks button. If you want to put the like, that would be very nice. A good, nice like on this video. And also, if you want to subscribe, just in case you are not yet, please do. You can also, if you need, come to me for online courses in teaching, in learning how to sketch cars from the basics. You can also always write to me via email on chat on Instagram, and then I will explain to you how my online class starts and how it works. All right? Okay. Thank you very much, and see you next Tuesday.